What up, Thu?
Lock in your wins with Djbigboss's UFL picks. Want the inside scoop on the upcoming UFL games? Tune in to Djbigboss's UFL betting show, live every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be there.
What up, Dow? How the party people doing out there on this luxurious Saturday morning? Thanks, a big shout out to my guy AT33 in the chat, and also my guy Daryl in the chat was in here already on me early with the questions, and that we going 4-0 today. Yes, last week we went 1-1. We took it easy. It was week 2. Week before that we were 2-2, so we just been evening out each week, man. We like my man Daryl said, we are due for a 4-0 week, and I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of it. I'm gonna bring my guy Ramon Scott in today, in case you guys are not familiar with Ramon Scott. He does a show every morning, and he'll tell you about it. But great capper, great guy. And let me bring Ramon Scott. Y'all make some noise in the chat for my man Ramon Scott in the building. What's up, Ramon Scott? How you feeling today?
Well, Big Boss, after, hearing the voiceover for the Djbigboss UFL show, I have to come in to be on the show because it sounds like you're trying to use AI to make the picks. So what we're going to do is try to bring some fake intelligence on my part and try to make some picks here in the UFL for week 3. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for helping me, man. This market right here is a market that a lot of season cappers, they kind of frown upon, untouched markets. But me, myself, I feel like it's an exciting opportunity to use every betting skill that I know from betting the other sports into something new that's a smaller market. And it just kind of like sharpens up the knives for me. So, man, I advise y'all out there that's watching to get involved, just a little bit. You don't got to be as aggressive as you are maybe in other sports, but definitely it's something to look at. Not to say that you're going to be looking at a UFL players that's going to give you an edge in NFL, because other than the 65-yard kicker, none of them do well in the NFL. What you think about that?
Well, Big Boss, I think one thing about the markets in the UFL is that they are more influenced by the public money. I say that because, the limits are still going to be small, and books are not necessarily going to make big, huge moves to leave themselves wide open. You see how closely rated the games are on some points, and the movement isn't really that substantial. And that's because they can they can freeze the line. They can freeze the line. They know they have pretty, nondescript limits, if you will. So people think, you go in here bombing these games. They're not going to, it's not that the bookmakers are like, oh, we're afraid of, some hanky panky with these games. So they limit because, hey, it's easier probably for the cappers with this league than it is for the books, quite frankly. The books aren't worried about any damage in this league, on a day like today.
Yeah, absolutely. Limits is the book's best friend. They especially nowadays, they open to so many markets having limits, and what the limits are, it can tell you about just how good you can probably move around in there, because the shorter the limits, they're telling you that they don't have as much control over the market as they do in other markets. But that's just a little tidbit that I thought is very interesting, especially with having a guest and not talking to myself this week. But
I see why I'm here now. Okay,
I got some stuff to. We were supposed to have my man Billy on here. I just tried to look out for the few cappers that I knew. Yeah, Billy Briz.
Get in here.
He does.
Get in here, Billy.
He didn't confirm, so but
all right.
did
I
reach out
saw
to
him
Billy
last night. I was in some chat room far away watching PFL fighting, and he was there. So no excuse. I'm up here with you, Big Boss, West Coast style early, and I got up for that. I was watching some. I was watching some soccer. I'll admit it. I was watching some
Degenerate comes out.
German league maybe while I was, I've actually capped the games, but again, I mean, with this league, you got to brush up a little bit on personnel if you're going to come on with Big Boss.
No, it's all good, man. I'm just a regular capper like everybody else. I just happen to take the long route into this whole internet being on shows type thing. But let me reach out real quick. Let everybody on Twitter know that we are on right now before we jump into the card, man. But I do appreciate that though, Roman Scott. I know, a lot of guys kind of enter, this whole community of sports betting at different points, and I'm just one of the many that has been around for a while. So yeah, you do see me around here and there and yada yada yada. But games are 50-50. Yeah, I do have some unique strategies that I use. I do have, a bunch of edges that I use, but at the same time, I'm a regular capper like everybody else. Just like my guy Wine Time in the chat, because Wine Time's one of those newer up and coming cappers that you got to catch out there, and he's doing very well. I think most of the time when you're new to the whole thing, you be on fire for a while. So my fire cooled off. I would have been through the pandemic with this shit.
I thought we were talking football, Big Boss. No, okay.
let's keep it moving, man. But let's go
Don't
into
let our fire cool off, sir.
yeah. We can't let the fire cool off, man. Matter of fact, we gotta always keep it warm. But let's go into the first game right here, man. DC Defenders at the Renegades. DC -2. The over under is 43.5. I don't know what I'm gonna check right now and see what it is right now. I'm sure it's moved. And another thing in these markets is that you probably want to get to some of these lines early because they can change up on you later down the way. So it was at 2 when I looked at it. I seen it at 1.5. I took it at 2 already though. I like the DC Defenders in this. And it's more of a fade on what they got going on at the Renegades because I thought Luis Perez was a bum. I don't know why he came from multiple teams. Like, a 4-16 winning the Super Bowl could be pure luck. So, Bob Stoops said that he here for the ride. Like he like it, just because it's another job in football. He's aged to where he could just handle it. So he's just here for the show. So, he won a championship already. I don't expect them to do well. And the DC Defender team, they were set back, kind of lost early. A really good team last year in the XFL. But missing Abram Smith is huge to the running attack that they have over there. But the thing I like about Barlow over there at DC Defenders is he's one of those, I would call him like a median coach. Like he has a little experience high, a little experience low, but he does well, at the median level, at both levels. So he can basically move teams along, and he kind of works on his team, just like I called it last week with the Blackhawks. That the coach over there as well, he works at it week for week, so you can see teams that are improving. So in this spot today, I expect DC Defenders to be back on track right here and getting a little progression and kind of dominating the trenches, the running game against this Renegade team that really can't figure out a real identity right here. That was a lot. What you feel about this, Ramon?
Well, I feel like it's my last appearance ever on the DJ Big Boss UFL show for talking bad about my man, Luis Perez. Big Boss, in my failed media career, I have been the voice of two college football teams, play-by-play analysis, and that would be the Southwestern College Jaguars that Luis Perez kind of made his name for himself in JC football down in San Diego. But I tease you a little bit. I mean, he is my man, certainly. But there's not a lot around Luis. I think he is the one of the better spring football. You talk about where he's been and how he's been around. I mean, he's been. It seems like he's been in every uh, incarnation over the last decade almost. It seems like with Luis Perez, former Commerce quarterback, player. Don't forget
Mhm.
his great college career and all that. But I'll back off a little bit. I mean, so it's 72%. 72% last week, 280 yards and 3 touchdowns. I just don't think he has a lot around him. Kuti out of this game. This is a rematch of the XFL title game, right? But with
Yeah,
the Renegades and the
big
Red.
revenge factor.
Yeah, if so, a little bit. Last week, Renegades lost that game 27-24. They did cover against the Battlehawks. Big Boss, 40,000. Were there really 40,000 people at that game last week?
40,000
They're
and
the
what was it, 900,000 on there with college basketball and baseball on at the same time. So they did pretty good over there at the
well.
Blackhawk Stadium. But they
I
did
will.
pull off the win in that one. They grabbed it out of the crack of their behind
Yeah,
and
you
pulled
could
that
say
one
that
out.
again. Uh, the one thing I will say, about I the games I've watched, and most of them actually, I don't watch with much sound. Usually there have been other things on, and I have the game on, and I keep it off in the side there a little bit. I will say this a little bit: they try a little bit too hard on that on the in intrusive media, if I'm saying it right, right? Like with all the sideline announcer right in their face asking what's. Let's back off a little. It's cool, okay, and I don't mind someone might get struck by a drone and knocked out of the game, but nonetheless. Defenders last week. They I think it was a push actually 23-18. That game actually went over, but uh, these are two teams that have the worst defense. I'm going to go under. I don't care. Probably go under in every game. Big Boss in this one. I know that defenders are allowing 22 and a half points over the first two games. And yes, the Renegades probably have the worst defense, at least statistically, they do right now, 27 points per game right now. I'll take the under. If you've got DC in this one, I'm not going to get in your way because I'm just a big Luis Perez fanboy. He, of course, thought was going to be a professional bowler before he switched
Wow.
to football, because that's what you do. I mean, if you're going to fail and not be a PBA bowler, you could always go to junior college and be a football player. And like I said, I mean, success has followed Perez, no doubt about it. He's won, obviously, spring football titles and college football national titles. And so I'm a big Luis Perez fan, make no mistake. But I'll take the under if you've got DC. They're 0-2 against the spread, obviously. Or, well, probably 1-0-1, right? I think everything's was a push last week. So, all right, I'll take the under here. 40, maybe it's 43. One thing I will say before I let you
Oh,
get on
let's
there.
see what I'm gonna tell you what it is right now, Ramon.
Okay,
It is 43 even,
42,
so it's came
42.
down to half a point.
You were talking about the markets, and I did too. But the other thing I will say is, uh, with these games, comes from years of watching these spring football leagues. The move is usually right, quite frankly.
Yeah. And I was kind of reading that line too. And initially when I looked at this game, I said, ooh, a 43 and a half. And we know both teams don't play defense. And I thought, oh man, I kind of like the over in that. But I moved off of that more towards the DC defenders. Not just as a fade of Luis Perez. Let me keep it real. It also has to do with the revenge factor. DC had that league in the bag last year, and this Renegade team just knocked them off their horse. And they got to go into town to play them. It's going to be pretty tough because you got to remember, and actually this is like a super game at home because most of these teams are based out of Texas and they practice there all week. So DC's defenders did not fly back to DC, in this game. They stayed home and they had as much practice as everybody else in this one. So I'm pretty sure, and in case you guys don't know, they keep these guys like in the same hotels and stuff like that. So the beef gets real sometimes in XFL. That part of the game hasn't been shown to the media, but it's been said, in articles that I read and stuff that, yeah, that part does play its part. And DC defenders are definitely headed for Renegades. Luis Perez got a crown on his hat today. They're gonna try to get him so bad, but I know San Diego athletes. I love them, and Luis Perez. You are a little biased on him, but here's a good challenge right here. If he can handle this today, we'll have something to talk about next weekend. So this a great. It's actually a great factor right here with the Luis Perez. But I don't want to keep going on that. I totally agree with the under that you got right there as well. Now that I look at it as an under instead of an over, I'm like, wow, I got a lot of points in this one because you got to figure these guys. DC's a running team actually. The Renegades haven't established an identity, offensive or defensive, even though everybody's going to put up some stats. So it could just, sit for a long time on under. I could really see that under happening. I might try to jump on it live. If I see any perks of it live, boom, I'll try to jump on it live if I
Unders,
could get it.
unders are 6-2 so far, Big Boss. The average total of UFL games through 2 weeks is 41, and the average final score is about 38.5.
Yep. I like that. So let's keep it moving, man, to the to this evening's game, and this one's on Fox. I think that I don't know how you feel about this though, Ramon. Everybody has their factors. So games played on Fox, I expect to be played a little bit different because they got this little solo spot. And if you look at Fox moving forward in the future, they're going to be huge with the acquisition of the Big Ten and some other things as far as football goes. And they already acclimated in the NFL. So I expect to see a show on the Fox game. So I was kind of leaning to the over in this game right here as well. But these two teams, they've seen each other before, for sure, for sure. In the UFL, I wasn't that good in the UFL. But the Stallions did blow them out. I hear 42-0 or something like that. So you can look at that two ways. That could be a revenge factor for Memphis that they come in and play a great game because I do feel like they are the Showboats are a competing team and they got a good thing going on over there. But these Stallions are so explosive on defense and offense and only doing basic things. They don't have no high tech offense or no edge on the X's and O's. They just flat out beating these dudes. They have the best personnel, I guess you could say, and some good coaching from my guy, Skip Holtz, Notre Dame. Son of Lou Holtz there. So, and this may be Skip Holtz's spot, because he wasn't the greatest college coach when he was there, but I think this may be his lane right here, and he's dominating second year. Well, this is third year in, right? So, he has a good shot right here. So I'm kind of scared to take a side in here, even though that 7 points with the Showboats could be real juicy. But the fact that they blew him out 42-0, I don't know. Coaching has a lot to do with this, and those two coaches are the same. So I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. But I do like the under in this game. I think both these teams are very defensive, especially Memphis. Memphis stays in the game from playing defense, and the Stallions are sacking at an enormous rate, and they're playing good defense as well. So I expect a tight under right here, and this one right here, it was sitting at 41. Let's see what it's looking at now. 40. So it's went down a full point in my direction. So I took it at 41. So that's my two plays for the day. I have DC in the first game, and then I have the under in this game under 41. You gotta let the unders take these 41s, man. Some people be like 41 points. You gotta remember that's almost 6 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? So 6 touchdowns is a lot, especially these teams that they only had they preseason was 30 days. Go for it, Ramon. What you feel about this one?
Could be 5 touchdowns and 2 3-point conversions. But
Yeah, for real, huh?
Don't forget. Yeah. Big Boss, look, maybe Birmingham is number one right now. They're looking pretty good. Both teams under in both games so far this season. So, both teams 0-2 to the under. Now, Memphis, bummer, right? I mean, they've outplayed San Antonio for 59 minutes last week. I mean, they led the game 16-0. They led the game 19-8 with less than 1 minute to go before blowing that game, I guess. So they ended up losing that game to San Antonio. I think it's good matchups of the quarterbacks, but I think the defenses are very good. You talk about the teams, Showboats allowing 16 points in the first two games on average, and the Stallions allowing 13 and a half. I mean, Birmingham, look, the old two quarterbacks, no quarterbacks thing. I don't know. I think Corral is probably the best quarterback. I don't know. I think he's the best in the league, but they have Martinez out there because I don't know. Because if you have Martinez, I guess you got to play him. So no, he's looked fine too. I think Corral's looked pretty good. This Birmingham team has won 9 straight games, including 5 straight by 7 points or more. That's the spread. But I'm gonna take the points, just like what you said. Look, Memphis was in that game. They just blew it, so I think they're okay here. I don't know. I think maybe the two quarterback could be is not the rhythm. I don't know. I'm not all into that. I mean, this is UFL, so you could play one guy in one half. I think they're rotating Corral and Martinez for the most part. So if you've got the under, I'll go ahead and take 7 points. I think these rules are designed to make for close games. I don't think unless we see one team that's really bad. I don't think Memphis is horrible. I'll take a touchdown here against Birmingham.
Yeah, I like what you're saying right there, because at the end of this game's all come down to the fourth quarter. And we seen it last week, so second week in the season, and we seen somebody take the fourth quarter chance and convert and actually win the game behind that. So yeah, the back door is always open.
I forgot to mention that. Yeah, they took the conversion, and then Bigboss they took a knee. They could have covered the spread, but they took a knee on the conversion after that.
Yeah, well,
how about the Brahmas?
When you only getting paid $5,000 a week, it might be worth it to bet $5,000 a week on your team or something. I don't know. On the under, I guess the under's been booming 6-2. The players are doing their thing, but I'm allegedly. I ain't saying nothing over there.
You should always be able to bet on yourself.
You should, right? And
we used to allow that in boxing. Remember?
Yeah, but in this one, yeah, I agree with everything you're saying right there. I'm just not willing to take the chance because that the unknown is what's bothering me. I don't know much about what happened in this game that was 42-0 in the USFL. So the unknown is killing me, and I feel like if I jump out there on my edge that I like, which is taking the points right there, because I if they really feel like they're gonna beat them by a touchdown, you got to win by more than just a touchdown. This game is not even based off of 7. So either they know it's going to be a blowout or they know that Memphis got a chance to even win because they didn't put the half on it. If they would have threw the half on there, then that would have made you think like, oh, they're trying to bait me over into playing Memphis because they're giving that extra half when they already know it's going to go over. So this is a tight spot right here. I'm just going to pass and just take the total. That's why I ended up on the total on this one. I just passed and took the total.
Memphis held San Antonio to just 20 yards in the first half last week. Now, Birmingham might have a little bit better offense, but interesting.
Yeah. But let's keep it moving to the next one. We only got a few things. I ain't trying to be on here forever for 4 games. But the Houston Roughnecks and the Panthers. Now, I didn't tossed and turned over this one in my sleep, believe it or not, as I kept probing into this game right here. So originally, I liked the Panthers minus the 2.5 easy. I think that the Panthers are a quality team in this league. In the other league, there wasn't as much. I think they even. They even had some good numbers or decent numbers. They had 3 weeks at home, right? This is their 3rd home game, and they're getting the ticket sales. You gotta remember, this business for money. So the ticket sales, the attendance, and the views and all that stuff, it matters. I even think I read something that said a 30-second commercial. I was thinking about paying this one. A 30-second commercial is like $6,000 for the UFL. Maybe we should have everybody get a GoFundMe for this show and get us in there with a 30-second commercial. Me and my man Ramon. But anyways, Houston Roughnecks. I think it's bad coaching. I think it's the same as the Brahmas coach last year. I can't remember. Oh, Rob Woodson or whatever. Just somebody that they kind of put in the position, but that ain't really their thing. And that's how I feel about C.J. Johnson at the Roughnecks. But the Roughnecks was originally what other team from the Gamblers? They were the Houston Gamblers, not the Houston Roughnecks, but they have Houston Gamblers personnel. So everything that we thought we knew about the Houston Roughnecks last year, which Houston Roughnecks was a decent team. You kind of throw that out you kind of move that over to the Brahmas because Wade Phillip moves to the Brahmas. But anyways, I don't know what to say. I think this might be a game that Houston can actually win. Either Houston's going to be the low man on the totem pole for the rest of the season, or they're going to gather it enough to get a win today versus this Panther team, who is like a C plus rated team, right? They're like a C plus, low B type team. And Houston is maybe just, kind of like a C team right now, or, D plus C team. And I think, they make an advance right here, they can move up to like a solid C plus for Houston, and then we'll start getting a look at the bottom tier of what this league is going to look like. The total, I'm staying off. Books dropped it all the way down to 38.5. Let me see what it is now. It probably went up some. Just well, it's still going down, so it's at 38 right now. So I think I would go contrarian in this one, to tell you the truth, on the total, because sometimes you putting those two C teams together, you might not get C work. You might get some A work out of those teams, and they're gonna be on ABC. You need to have some scoring on ABC Sunday, the early game, right? You need to get people involved. You're on ABC. We need to see a good game. So this one, I got a little something on the Panthers, but I'm just gonna let it ride out because I think that I'm not gonna go in and change it, but I think that Houston really got a shot in this one. What you think?
Okay. Well, I mean, pretty bad offenses here, so maybe the flux of bad play will lead to something crazy, but you do have Houston last in scoring so far. Looks like
Wait. I don't want to cut you off, Ramon, but hold up. I gotta recognize this one from the chat. We
Oh,
just got a
Jason,
big
thank
tip,
you.
a big $20 from my man Jason Meyer. Man, we appreciate you. To tell you the truth, on the show by myself, this is the first time I ever got a tip. Now, I've been on plenty of shows that got tips, but you are my first tip, Jason. You ride with me, man. Hit me on Twitter, Djbigboss, and I'll get your hookup, man. I'm gonna send you out a Who-Bangin gift set or something, man. We got to get you something, man. I appreciate that, man. And everybody else also, we got merch too. If you look at the QR code in the side right there, you scan that, it take you to our store, and you can get merch from almost all of our shows. Not all of it. I still got to put some more up, but we got some stuff in there. So, man, big shout out to Jason. Sorry to cut you off, Ramon, but I had to do that. That just made my day. Now we're going 4-0 for sure. But your turn, Ramon. Go for it.
Might make a four-teamer. Might make a four-teamer out of this one. Here we put our $20 on a four-teamer here in this one. It sounds like it sounds like you're on Houston. I just have so many concerns with the offense right now. They're last in scoring. Gorentano's out. Merritt's out for the season. So it doesn't look like it's getting any better right now for Houston. But Michigan, they're next to last in scoring and last in passing. You see, who was it in the chat talking about the poor quarterback play? So let me make sure I get Don. I think it was Don. Yeah, talking about Perry. Right now, not a great situation at quarterback here so far for Michigan. For Perry, he's been sacked 8 times, 3 interceptions, and you mentioned Bates. He's the man right now. 2 long field, the 64-yarder. Remember against the Battlehawks. in week one, no one's in the NFL's ever kicked two 62-yard field goals in back-to-back weeks. So maybe Bates will be the guy that makes it to the NFL here out of this one. I'm going to if you're taking Houston, I know you're saying it might go over. I don't. I think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be ugly, and I'm going to have to go under. I'm going to go under. Yep.
I feel it. It's a total contrarian play for me. I really like I said, I'm already stuck with the Michigan play that I played early in the week. I'm not gonna cancel it. I don't really like
Oh,
it.
you were on Michigan, but you
Yeah, I took it early in the
oh,
week, but after it settled with me, and like you just mentioned, the quarterback situations with Eli Perry and all that stuff. We don't really know what we're going to get out of this game. So I
I,
think
I
this
like
is
I like Michigan because I just think Houston is. I think maybe. I mean, I think they're the worst, but I think these are the two bottom teams right now. Big
yeah,
Boss in the
yeah,
league, and you talked about Birmingham and Memphis. Uh, and their USFL, success. I think they're the two best teams in that division, and I think on the XFL side, DC, St. Louis, San Antonio are all better than maybe all four. Though maybe Birmingham still the best, but the other three teams. So it's a little bit lopsided in the divisions.
absolutely. But in this game, I'm gonna use one of my quotes that I've had with me for a long time that I got from my father, and that's the sun must shine on a dog's ass someday. So I think Houston got a chance in this one. But let's jump
Well,
on over into the next one. Last game of the week. I think this is a really good, even match. We can get anything out of this game right here. Battlehawks pulled it off at the end. Anthony Bouquet, the coach over there, like I said, he's going to improve week in, week out. Wade Phillips and what he has going at the Brahmas, it's a great system. It's great coaching, and it's some good players in there. I really like Gabbers. Now, if you want to go quarterback for quarterback, I'm gonna take Gabbers. Gabbers. You're gonna take Luis Perez because I like what he did at Cal. I think that at Cal, like you said, the weapons around you and all that stuff make a big difference. I think he has some weapons here. He's not the same dude over there. It allows him to be himself a little bit more. And I think that my man Gabbard's gonna come through and the Dogs gonna win this one. I don't know why the Brahmas is a home dog. That I tried to figure it out, but I guess it's just a lot of bias going towards the Blackhawks. I mean, they got 40,000 in the seats, so of course some of those are betting, and they got this line here for some reason. Maybe they're trying to bait in Blackhawks fans, but I really like the Brahmas. That's my team this year is the Brahmas, and I'm taking them in this dog spot. This is going to be a make it or break it for me, and I'm getting 2 points. I'll probably sprinkle something on the money line, but I'm gonna take the 2 points too in this one. The defense on both of these about even. The Battlehawks really struggled to pull that win off at home. The craziness could have played his part in that game somewhere. I think I did see a back-to-back penalties that helped them get in a position to win that game. But what the Brahmas did on the field was woke the hell up. In that game they would sleep for the whole game and they woke up at the end. But my key factor in this Brahmas game that a lot of people are overlooking is Latimer. Latimer he could do some single-handed damage. He did it in the XFL last year, and he woke up in that game. And then, like so his numbers don't reflect that he's a top receiver or anything like that right there. But that guy is a beast, especially at this level. This is like to me, he's an elite guy on this level. So I'm riding with Latimer. The San Antonio. Shout out to Pub Sports out there in San Antonio, man. This is gonna be played. I think they play at the Alamo. And it's a great group of people in San Antonio that's for this. So I think you got DC who has the beer snake and all that good stuff, and they got a good fan base. Then you got the Blackhawks, who St. Louis was waiting for a team since the Rams left, and I think you got the Brahmas, who in Texas is one of the other ones, outside of Houston and Arlington and all that. And I think the Brahmas got a good chance here. I say Brahmas win by 10 in this one. What you think about that?
That's a big call, considering, St. Louis is they're, supposed to be good, right? They're 1-1, they're 0-2 against the spread. So uh, I don't know. That's how we keep score, Big Boss. So
Through
we'll
that.
see. But yeah, with St. Louis here moving up, and I say the moves are always right, but no, I don't know. I like San Antonio at home, and the thing is, I also do like their fan support. I think these two teams have the best fan bases right now so far, in the from what I've seen. So, anyways, so it was San Antonio that rallied from that game last week, of course, against Memphis. They've allowed just one offensive TD, I believe, in the first two games. So I think, San Antonio has looked pretty decent. They are getting the points at home. I'll let you take them here. I still think St. Louis, McCarron, he's number one in passing yards. I know we want to make fun of AJ a little bit. He's not going anywhere. He's not going to he's not going to the NFL. This is it for
Yeah.
AJ. So maybe this is his, where, and he's got a good weapon also in Durant, 100 yards last week. No turnovers for St. Louis so far. So I think you have two really good disciplined teams with good defenses too. Boy, I don't know. Am I going to be on three unders on the show here? Uh-oh. I'll go under 42, 41 and a half, whatever it is. And too bad, Big Boss. I don't know if you talked about on the first shows, but if anybody's watched the videos of destroying the kicker, that he's injured, he's out. His football career is probably over for San Antonio before it ever got started. But if anybody watches destroying on YouTube, he's basically a YouTuber that made his money YouTubing and made it
Absolutely.
as a kicker. Got a look, but I believe he injured his neck. I didn't see his last video. I'll go watch it because I think this guy's cool. But I saw the thumbnail and he's got the brace on with a fractured vertebra or something. So too bad, destroying. I think his career is big leg. Interesting guy. Probably will make more money. He might be the next. He might be the football Mr. Beast or something. I don't know. I'll go. I'll go under here just because I think these teams have good defenses. I think there are good offensive talent too. And like I said, this is in the XFL division. I mean, DC is pretty decent. These two teams are pretty decent. I think this is an important game. Watch out here, Big Boss. If St. Louis, loses this one, they're going to be chasing a little bit here.
Yeah, they will be chasing, but I think chasing would probably be a good one for Blackhawks pedigree. That'll give them something to fight for later on in the season because that coach, like I said, each week he's gonna improve. He works on improvement and figuring things out. So, but I think this one, I think Brahma has talent on the team that that's better than the Blackhawks at this point in time. So that's just how I feel about that one. Um, I got to get these pics on Twitter for all my Twitter people. Shout out to my man Jimmy. Big shout out to my man Jason. And shout out to Darrell, my man AT33. I appreciate y'all showing up. And all 31 people that's in watching live right now, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to call y'all 31,000 because that's how I feel today.
One
Um,
thing I want to interject here, Big Boss, before you do the sign off, and just want to let everybody know
go
we're
for it.
watching
Go
the
for it.
live show, is that Arlington, we're seeing a move right now. Arlington at Circa has moved to 3.5. So starting to see this line rise here. Arlington, 3 now at South Point out here in Vegas, and 3.5 at Circa. So a little bit of move here. Go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Oh man, we better hope. While you at it, why don't you let them know where they can catch you at? You still every day over there?
Well, I'm trying to get back on the air a little bit. I'm on every day at Tony's Picks YouTube channel, making picks. I'm on with Tony, trying to get back on the air with a morning show, a reincarnation of some kind. I guess I'm just so big time, Big Boss. I won't go on the air, without any people watching. So that's why I came here today, to be with you and
Mhm.
Jason and Jimmy and Daryl, who obviously has watched, my man Daryl. He's watched every game so far. Don and all the gang and Wine Time too. So I don't like to go on the air when nobody's watching. So I want to make sure I have an audience before I come back. But all my videos, check them out on my X. Also, every day I'm going on making some picks and still schlepping picks over at Tony'sPicks.com.
Absolutely, man. Y'all make sure y'all give my man Ramon a great follow, great capper, great person just to chop it up and talk sports with, man. I'm pretty sure your your DM is open, and if y'all have any questions, you can definitely DM my man Ramon, and he'll get back with y'all because he's a very seasoned capper, and he does a whole lot more work than I could ever even imagine doing. Only because my job is in the way. Now, if I didn't have a job, then I could do this all day. But love having fun with you, Ramon. Once again, if you want any, I know some of you guys was in San Antonio. You seen the live sweatshirts, all that good stuff. If you're looking for our merch, just hit the QR code right there on the show. It'll take you to our merch page, and you can order whatever you like. And we appreciate that as well. Keeps the lights on around here. I should be back on in the morning with my man Dom Ricci, with the MLB, and we'll just be kicking around sports for the day. I'm probably gonna make my mind if I'm gonna do anything else in the Panthers and Houston game. So check me out over there in the morning, and I think that's it. Anything else you want to tell the people out there?
Hey, enjoy the UFL.
There you go. Well, in the words of my guy, Big Ragu, I'll see you at the window.
What up, Thu?
Lock in your wins with DJ Bigboss's UFL picks. Want the inside scoop on the upcoming UFL games? Tune in to DJ Bigboss's UFL betting show, live every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be there.